Okay, welcome back. So here we are now for lesson 2, my little blues lead guitar series. So what we're going to talk about in this lesson is the most common blues scales that get used. The three most common blues scales are the minor pentatonic scale, the blues scale, and the Dorian mode. Now, you don't have to understand modes before you start using the Dorian mode. It's just extra. Think of it as extra notes you can add to the minor pentatonic scale to make it sound cool. Don't worry about all the theory, just know that you can use it. Now, a big part of the way that I teach blues and guitar just in general is learning one thing when you need it and then being able to use that thing before you go learning other things that are like it. Okay, in this case it's scales. We're going to be learning all three of these scales in one position, which is position 1, which it's going to be in the key of A, which is going to be kind of first finger starting off in the 5th fret, the 6th string, which is where the root note A lives. Probably some of you are familiar already with the minor pentatonic scale, probably some of you with the blues scale, and probably not many of you with the Dorian mode. I'm going to show you a rather unconventional way of playing the Dorian mode, as far as, because really modes are major scales. If you've gone through any of my major scale course stuff, then you probably know a fingering for position 2 major scale. This is going to be position 1 Dorian mode is what I'm going to call it, because it's got a pretty kind of unusual fingering, but one that will hopefully make sense when I explain why there's a funny fingering for it. Without further ado, let's go to a close-up and have a look at the scales, these three scales, the minor pentatonic, the blues scale, and the Dorian mode. Okay, so here we are for a look at the A minor pentatonic scale first. So we're going to be starting that with our first finger on the note A, which is at the 5th fret. This is the 5th fret here, with your first finger. Then little finger will go on the 8th fret, first finger on the 5th again, third finger on the 7th, first, third, first finger, third finger on the 7th fret. Now here we've got first finger. Now if you're practicing the scale up and down, you're probably going to use little finger up here on the 8th fret, first finger, little finger. Now in the real world, when you're playing this scale, very often you're going to use your third finger up on the B string and the E string. And the reason for that is because you're probably going to stick bends and things on. So of course the third finger is the finger you should be bending with. So that's why you might find using your first and third finger all the way down. I still use my little finger on that lowest note, but that's really your call on that. You can choose to use your third finger, or you can choose to use your little finger, depending on what situation you're in when. Okay, so that's scale number 1. Now let's check out scale number 2. Here we are for the blues scale. So the blues scale is almost the same as the minor pentatonic, but it adds one note. So it starts the same, first finger, fourth finger, but then we have 1, 2, 3. So 3 notes in a row there on the 5th fret, 6th fret, and 7th fret. We keep going, first, third finger, first finger, third finger, and then we add in little finger on the 3rd string, on the G string, so that string goes 5th fret, 7th fret, then 8th fret, first finger, little finger, or like I said, it could be third finger up there, then first finger, little finger. There's your blue note. There's your blue note again. Okay, once more, a little bit quicker. Now you'll notice sometimes with this one as well, you might use second and third finger to play that. And then up 1, 3, 1, 3. So this is the extra note here, this blue note, there and there. 6th fret on the 5th string and 8th fret on the 3rd string. Now this note really gives it quite a bluesy sound if you're just playing like... So you can hear straight away it's the blue note, it's called, the flat 5. It's the interval. It's the blue note because it's got a very bluesy sound. So if you're going to play some blues, you definitely want to get that. Get that one down. Okay, now the third one that we're going to talk about is this Dorian mode. Now, the Dorian mode is used by quite a lot of blues guitar players. Now, this fingering is going to be a little bit weird, but the reason I'm showing it to you this way is I want you to realise that it's just the minor pentatonic scale with some added notes. So we have here first finger, third finger in the 7th fret, little finger, first finger, third finger. Now, first finger, back one in the, if I just get it back in shot, so it's down at the 4th fret, and then we're using the same finger up into the 5th fret, then the 3rd finger, then first finger is in the 4th fret again, back to the 5th fret, 3rd finger, first finger, then 3rd finger, 4th finger, 1st, 3rd, 4th, back down. It's going to go 4, 3, 1. Of course, I'm calling finger numbers now. 4, 3, 1, 3, 1, 1 slid back, 3, 1, 1 slid back, 3, 1, 4, 3, 1. So the reason that we're doing this is that if we're normally playing a pentatonic lick, we can add those other notes by sliding back with the first finger. That's that real note that gives it that real Dorian-y sound. So it's really cool little riff, that the old, scale, the Dorian mode. Hopefully now you've got a look at your 3 scales for blues, which is your minor pentatonic, your blues scale, and the Dorian mode. You're mostly going to be using the minor pentatonic scale to start off with. You'll definitely introduce a blue note here and there, that flat 5, the note that made the blues scale, the blues scale. And the notes from the Dorian mode you're definitely going to start using too, but perhaps a little bit later on. But start practicing it now so you're handy with the scale and you understand where those extra notes come from when you come across them. There's one other note that you're likely to find if you start transcribing blues solos. It'd be the note C sharp if you're transcribing a solo in the key of A. That particular note comes from the A7 arpeggio. When you start using arpeggios over blues, you have to change the arpeggio with each chord change, which is kind of complex and not the sort of thing that you want to be doing when you're starting out first playing your blues solos. So what we're going to be dealing with really next is just learning some licks that fit over the whole of a 12-bar blues sequence and learning how to fiddle about with them before you start getting into making the changes. For those of you that are a bit more advanced that want to get into that now, then you probably want to jump to checking out a series of lessons on my website called Jazzing Up Your Blues, which is in the jazz section of the site, where I explain the use of arpeggios and how you link them together and all that sort of stuff. But the next step for us is to check out a few blues licks. So let's go and do that, shall we, on lesson 3. See you soon.
Yeah.